I'm a long way from that. Like, I need luck to get that, and I don't want to win like that, but I certainly feel and can see it now. Like, I know every week I'm learning things, and I feel big improvements every week still, and know what's going on now rather than just deer in headlights.
Shane Van Gisbergen is not just showing up at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He's showing up as a problem. The garage waited 1 year too long to take him seriously, and right now, heading into the Pennzoil 400, the warning signs are everywhere. A driver who already owns road courses is quietly becoming dangerous on ovals too, and the numbers, the quotes from rival champions, and a structure being built around him at Trackhouse Racing all point to the same conclusion. This situation just got a lot more complicated for everyone else in the NASCAR Cup Series. Here's where SVG stands right now. He won his very first Cup start on the Chicago Street Course in 2023. In his rookie 2025 season, he won 5 races, all on road courses, finished 12th in the final standings, took Rookie of the Year, and set a NASCAR record for the most wins by a rookie in a single season. Through the first 4 races of 2026, he sits 5th in the points standings with 2 top 10s already locked in. That is not a road course specialist. That is a weekly points threat. Phoenix Raceway was chaos. 12 cautions, tire issues, spins, and survival mode restarts that turned every green flag run into a gamble. A year ago at that same track, SVG lasted just 100 laps of the scheduled 312 lap distance after getting caught in an accident, finishing 22nd in the points. That was the story of his debut season. Qualifying outside the top 20 meant getting dragged into other people's problems. This year was a completely different story. SVG finished 11th and made 118 green flag passes, 7th best among the entire Cup field. He caused 2 of those cautions himself, spinning twice off turn 4, which is an important detail, because even after those mistakes, he came back. He stabilized the race, worked his way forward, and banked the points. I feel like we've been able to execute and get the most out of our situations, which is awesome, Van Gisbergen said. Like Echo Park Speedway was a yo-yo. The leaderboard for us, up and down. Pretty cool to do the same at Phoenix last week, but it would be nice to have a trouble-free day. That is the critical shift. Phoenix was not a perfect day. It was a messy, difficult day, and SVG still came out looking dangerous. The difference between 2025 and 2026 at Phoenix is the difference between a driver learning stock car racing and a driver who belongs in stock car racing. At this time last season, we were at a completely different end of the garage, so the guys enjoy it much more being early in tech, Van Gisbergen explained. It would be amazing to stay up here, but there's a long way to go. We really need to keep having good runs and results, be consistent with scoring points. The reason SVG is improving at the rate he is comes down to a very specific process. For the last 2 years, Kevin Harvick, the 2014 NASCAR Cup Series champion and 2007 Daytona 500 winner, worked directly with Van Gisbergen on understanding oval racing. That mentorship was the foundation. But the more significant development heading into 2026 is that SVG has internalized the process and is now running it from inside his own team. It was Kevin Harvick for the last couple of years, which has been awesome, Van Gisbergen explained. But now, really, it's just working within my own team. Josh Williams, my spotter, is an amazing coach, and my crew chief, Steven Doran, we've been working hard. They come up with a list of things to work on or improve every week. It's been really cool. That is a structured weekly improvement system. Every race, a new list. Every track type, a data set being built. The goal isn't to suddenly become an oval expert overnight. It's to understand setup trends, find what the car wants, and repeat the process when similar tracks come around on the schedule. It's been an awesome progression, and I feel like we're getting better and learning a lot, Van Gisbergen said. It's good going through 2 races of data from the same track now and coming up with a trend and setup we need. That's been awesome. Hopefully we keep showing that progress. Before, SVG was reacting on ovals, trying things and hoping they worked. Now, he's processing, identifying what needs to improve, and building toward it week by week. I keep saying, I feel these like light bulb moments every week. Still things are clicking, SVG said. I'm still getting better and better. I can see where it is now. That kind of systematic development is exactly what makes him dangerous beyond road courses, and the rest of the field is starting to notice. When a rival champion publicly says he misread a situation, that carries a different weight than routine praise. Brad Keselowski, a NASCAR Cup Series champion, went on the Dale Jr. download and compared SVG's development to the movie character Happy Gilmore, a natural with raw power who just needed to learn one specific skill to become unstoppable. SVG was kind of like Happy Gilmore if he could learn how to putt, Keselowski stated. He's got this massive drive, he could get to the green like. If he could just learn how to putt, which is like the ovals. That's exactly what's going through my mind. Then he added the line that functions as a direct warning, it's dangerous. Keselowski also admitted he was surprised when Trackhouse moved on from Zane Smith in favor of SVG. He viewed it at the time as a strategy built around road course wins rather than a long-term points program. That reading is now being revised. SVG isn't just winning road races and surviving ovals. He's building an oval foundation, and the combination of those two things is what Keselowski is flagging as a genuine threat. The math is straightforward. SVG doesn't need to be a short-track wizard or a mile-and-a-half specialist. He just needs to be competitive on ovals, because when you combine competitive oval results with road course dominance, 5 wins out of 6 road course races in 2025, you're scoring points at a rate that puts serious pressure on the championship conversation. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is a 1.5-mile intermediate track, a rhythm track built around long-run balance, not a survival oval like Phoenix. The racing lines are cleaner, the passes are more predictable, and a driver can build a lap like a repeatable routine. Last year at Vegas, SVG failed to finish, a DNF on a track that punished his oval inexperience. He arrives in 2026 in an entirely different position, 5th in the points, with momentum, a structured development process, and zero desperation in his approach. The rest of the garage has already taken note. Denny Hamlin assessed it directly at the track on Saturday. Certainly the trend is continuing that he keeps getting better. While they know what he can do on the road courses, as he proved it in his first start, can he adapt to these ovals? And elite, superior drivers find a way to adapt. And he's one of those. Chase Elliott reinforced the same point. When I look at how his oval stuff has improved, I'm not surprised. I think he's really knowledgeable. I think he's got a great feel for just natural balance behind the wheel, which I think is a really big deal. Christopher Bell, who won the pole for Sunday's Pennzoil 400, acknowledged SVG's progress while identifying exactly why it has taken this long. Fortunately for his competitors, and unfortunately for him, the weekend format handicaps him tremendously. But the format that we race under today, with one set of tires for a 20-minute practice session, I think has taken him a little bit longer to develop the oval stuff. But he's clearly getting the hang of it, and it's not going to be long before he's a factor on an oval. SVG himself is measured about where he stands. Man, I'm a long way from that, he said when asked about an oval win. I need luck to get that, and I don't want to win like that. I'm learning things and feel big improvements every week still, and know what's going on now rather than just deer in headlights, but I know I'm still probably a little bit away from a win. That honesty is exactly what makes the situation credible. He's not overpromising. He's tracking progress. Trackhouse Racing didn't just show up to Las Vegas with a fast car. They showed up with a statement. The number 97 SuperFile Chevrolet carries a custom livery designed by Mr. Brainwash, French-born Los Angeles-based street artist Thierry Guetta, known globally for large-scale pop art installations and collaborations with artists including Madonna, Rick Ross, and Kygo. The car looks epic, said Van Gisbergen. It's an awesome way to celebrate an expanded partnership with such an innovative company like SuperFile. It's certainly a bright and colorful design, kind of like the lights on a Vegas strip. You won't be able to miss it on the track. I'm looking forward to having SuperFile ride along on my NASCAR journey. That word, journey, is the important one. This is not a one-race sponsor. SuperFile debuted on SVG's car at the 2026 Daytona 500 and will return as a primary sponsor on Connor Zillish's number 88 Chevrolet at New Hampshire Motor Speedway on August 23rd. It is a multi-year, multi-race partnership, and it is expanding inside the team at exactly the moment SVG's oval development is becoming impossible to dismiss. Trackhouse is building a brand around this driver, global attention, sponsor investment, and a development arc that is producing results. That combination is what separates a short-term experiment from a long-term program, and everything about the Vegas weekend signals the latter. Vegas is the kind of track that separates the field quickly. Teams that unload with a real intermediate setup will know it within the first 20-minute practice session. Teams that don't will spend stage one chasing their tail. Long-run balance is the entire game. Push the right front too hard early, and it's gone before the end of the run. Too tight, and you can't rotate through traffic, which means burning tires just to defend position. Pit crew execution becomes a silent factor in this race. Clean stops produce clean air, and clean air at Vegas is the difference between a good car and a problem car. For SVG specifically, the things to watch are whether he manages his runs using the setup trends he's described, how he handles restarts, historically the area where oval inexperience has cost him the most, and whether the Trackhouse team can put him in position to capitalize on strategy. 2026 also carries a format factor. NASCAR reverted to the chase, a straight points battle every single week. SVG addressed this shift directly. Last year, I could afford to do that. You're locked in the playoffs, whereas now you need to get as many points as you can every week. So certainly the risk-reward ratio for me has changed a lot. So probably going to drive a little more conservative, but you still got to push it too. It's a real fine line this year. That risk-reward recalibration is significant. SVG is no longer a driver who can absorb a bad oval day and make up for it with a road course win. Every track, every stage, every lap counts. And a driver operating with that kind of focus inside a team running a structured weekly improvement process, arriving at a 1.5-mile intermediate sitting fifth in the standings. That is not a storyline anymore. That is a threat.